Hey, Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block, and the new college men's volleyball national media polls are out. Now I'm a voter for this poll, so let's get down to how I voted this week. Number one on my ballot, I have Loyola, the Ramblers. I moved from number 2 to number 1 on my ballot this week, so a bit of a change. And the reason for that, well, UCLA lost, so they dropped down. But you look at what the Ramblers are doing. Very impressive the way they are just continuing to take care of business, beat the teams they were supposed to beat, and get impressive victories, like the win they had against Lewis on the road, a tough conference victory. You look at the way Smalzer's playing. You look at the way Jakowski's playing. This is a team that's going to be very deadly, not only in the MIVA tournament, but in the NCAA tournament if they make it that far, which I think that they will. They have the firepower. I don't know if this is going to be a team that's going to go undefeated in conference play, but don't be surprised if they end the regular season with only 1 or 2 conference losses, which would, in that instance, pretty much assure them at least an at-large bid. But that's for down the road. But right now, they're playing great. They're the best team in the country. That number 2, I have UCLA, the Bruins. They had a tough loss on the road against Pepperdine, but they bounced back, got a big win against their rival, USC. The UCLA Bruins continuing to play great. Gonzalo Quiroga looking fantastic. When you think about what he did against the Trojans, 15 kills, plus 500 attack percentage. He's playing like an All-American. The Bruins are real. They're going to continue to contend for an MPSF title. Then number 3 on my ballot this week, I had Pepperdine. The Waves a bit of an up and down week. They got that big win against UCLA, but then lost at home in 5 to UC Santa Barbara. But I'll tell you, the Waves are still a great team, still playing great. Their offense is clicking with Taylor and Parker Kalbaum on the pins, and then you also have a setter in Matt West. The Waves are real. They're going to continue to be in contention for an NCAA tournament bid throughout the season. Then at number 4, I had BYU, the Cougars. Pretty much a bye week for them this week, so you can't punish them too much or reward them moving up or down. They're going to continue to look good, though. Very interesting match this week for them on the road against Stanford. Circle that on your calendar. Should be interesting what happens there. Now, continuing on my ballot, number 5, team I moved up in the top 5 this week is Penn State. You look at what Penn State is doing. They are beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, but more importantly, they're getting impressive wins. They're able to beat Ohio State. And then you look at the losses that they have this season. They only have 2 losses. This is a team on a 9-match winning streak. Only 2 losses came at the very beginning of the season. And who did they lose to? Okay, you lose to UCLA in a 5th game by 2 points. That's a quality loss. And then you lose on the road to Hawaii. No shame in that. So this is a team, yeah, they might not have the most impressive victories, but you look at who they've lost to, and it's been 2 quality losses. This is a top 5 team that's going to be in contention throughout the season. They're going to continue to climb up. And don't be surprised if by March they are on a 12 or 13 match winning streak going into their West Coast road trip where they're going to play Long Beach State, which Long Beach State, the 49ers, I had them at number 6. They're continuing to look good. Taylor Crabb, I think that he has a potential to be in the race once again for National Player of the Year, and rightfully so. He's looking good. Now, continuing down my ballot, number 7, I had USC, the Trojans. Bit of a tough week for them, losing to their interstate rival in UCLA, but they're going to be fine. They'll bounce back. It's a young team. They're going to continue to look well this season. Then at number 8, I have Lewis, the Flyers. A tough loss at home this week against Loyola, but the Flyers, they're going to continue to get victories. And this is going to be something very interesting that West Coast fans are going to have to pay attention to, is you have to look at Lewis. And if you're a West Coast fan, it's not assumed, it's not just a foregone conclusion that the West Coast, the MPSF, is going to get both those at-large bids. If Lewis is able to continue to rack up the wins like they continue to do in conference play, they're going to be in the hunt for that potential second at-large bid. So if you're an MPSF fan, you're going to be very interested in following Lewis, and basically you're going to need to root for them to lose to an Ohio State, lose to a Ball State, lose to a Loyola. And if Lewis is able to avoid that, they're going to be in the hunt not only for an MIVA title, but also for a potential NCAA berth as an at-large bid. So very interesting to see what happens with the Flyers moving forward. Then at number 9, I have UC Santa Barbara. This is a team, they win ugly, they win with defense, with the blocks, with the digs. They're a good team. They're going to be in the postseason, and it'll be very interesting to see what they can do in the postseason, potentially pulling some upsets. They have the capability. So I had them at number 9. Then rounding out my ballot, I had Stanford at number 10. The Cardinal, they're getting into the nice part of their schedule where I think they're going to be able to pick up some more victories here at 500. They're going to continue to climb, so don't be surprised if they continue to move up not only in the standings, but in my ballot and in the national media polls. Well, that's going to do it for this edition as we broke down how I voted. Be sure to get all your men's volleyball coverage by going to offtheblockblog.com.